That's Jack Wylie. He cocked it up. I forgot how he cocked that back up. Almost looked like he had a broken arm or something. That man shot some very good rounds. I heard quite a few stories about him when he was young. I guess he was kind of a socializer and a drinker of the hooch, but he was extremely gifted, extremely gifted. I don't know how many tournaments he won when he was younger, because that's way before my time, but I understand that he used to be one of the top player, or one of the top players in Topeka for a while when he was young. And then he moved over to Topeka Publics and start managing that and stuff. And I asked old Ray Streeter one time when I first went out there that Ray was a pro out there at Topeka Publics. I asked him, how in the world did he ever manage to get Jack Wylie off the nest? And he says, well, he died. And I says, well, unfortunately, that's one way of replacing a person, you know. But Jack Wylie was always good-natured. I don't think I ever seen him. There's a lot of good people, a lot of good people. I can't say enough about Ray Streeter because in all my years of playing golf, that's probably one of the individuals that had more potential than just about anybody I've come in contact with. And he was shooting in the 70s when he was like 13 or 14, it might even be 12. They weren't low 70s, but they were up higher 70s. And he had an unbelievable feel for the ball and long. And he had just all combinations. Anything he could want, Ray Streeter had it. He was very serious and put a lot of pressure on himself, but had the most natural swing and skill. All points of his game was just outstanding. I mean, he never ceased to amaze me. I was watching one tournament one day, and I hit the ball a good long ways when I was younger. And he on 15, and I don't believe he was hitting from a temporary tee, because there just wasn't any temporary tees during the summer. And but he might have been hitting it from the front of that tee. But he carried there were some mulberry trees down there on the left, and they were standard height for mulberry trees, not super high. But anyway, he carried, I was looking from the green when he hit his drive, and it landed out in the middle of the fairway about 100 yards, about 75 yards past that corner. That tee shot, I'm not sure what the actual yardage of that is, but it's got to be close to 300. It's right on 300 or there plus. It's phenomenal. I've never seen one hit quite that far, especially on that hole. And he's very talented, and turned a PGA professional. And although I don't think he won any tournaments, but he played, stayed around Topeka, Kansas, and served as a golf professional at various courses, Shawnee Lake, and then there at Topeka Publics, which he retired at and moved to Florida. But very talented individual. One of his senior outings that he played in, I think it was down to Wichita or thereabouts, he had a hole-in-one. He didn't win the tournament, but he had a hole-in-one and won a Cadillac. I think him and his backers had to split that up, but he ended up with the Cadillac. So he was extremely talented. Roger Kluska was another individual. When I come back to town, and Roger Kluska grew up to be oh, I don't know, about 6'2", 6'3", height-wise, when you say he was about there. And a very good striker of the ball, extremely smooth, and very impressive. We played golf there a couple of years after I went in the service, and I was quite surprised. He had a very smooth golf swing, and he had what I consider a good attitude, and he was a lot of fun, and I knew him for many years, and he was a lot of fun to be around, and very talented at golf. Dick Hentzler. Dick was a very good golfer. He was a good striker of the ball. We had a lot of good junior members. When I was there caddying and stuff that played golf, and Dick was one of those, and kind of a witty individual, which most people were. And I understand he went to the military years later, but and retired as a major. But anyway, we played some golf together when he was younger, and he always conscious of the dollar, always holding his pennies tight. He was quite clever in manipulating that situation, but he was also very good at golf. He was and he played quite a bit during the summer, especially. He was out there most of the summer playing golf, and I can't remember him shooting any super rounds and stuff, but he was smaller then, so that wouldn't have normally happened. But he enjoyed the game, and put a lot of time in at it, and it was a lot of fun to be around, and kept you on your toes, especially if it come to your money. Morris Hume. When I first started caddying at Shawnee Country Club, Morris Humes used to play with the Hentzlers, and I don't think Dylan was there at that time. He come in a little bit later, but Schoonover, maybe Hobbs, he was playing with that crowd. Morris was a very nice individual, and unfortunately, very early in life, Mary Alice and Bobby Humes, their father, passed away. I'm not sure exactly what the cause of death. Heart. Yes, and he. I think, as I can remember, and that's been some time ago, but he was about a 77 shooter, 78, maybe 80, but high 70 shooter, and he enjoyed playing golf with the Hentzlers and stuff, and was a very nice individual. I don't remember too much about Morris, because it seems like, unfortunately, and about 3 years after I started caddying, he had had his heart problem and passed away. So that's very, very unfortunate. Yeah, I don't understand whether it was the competition, whether it was it was a little cheaper to be a member at the Shawnee Country Club than the Topeka Country Club, and but they also had their bankers and businessmen and such. So I don't understand why the competition seemed to be much better, at least in my opinion, than the Topeka Country Club. Of course, now the Topeka Country Club had their Jim English and Jack Sargent and other folks. Some of those names don't stick, but they had their good golfers also. But it sure seemed that there was some better golfers at Shawnee Country Club. Whether that's an actual fact, a person would have to do some digging and stuff and see if they had any. I don't believe those two country clubs played each other in any kind of matches and stuff. I can't remember them playing any kind of tournaments with one another, other than the cities match play and or medal play or something like that. So I'm not sure why the more influential people seem to cater to Topeka. Maybe it was a status symbol or something, the Topeka Country Club, and then Shawnee. It seemed that way, but the more athletic, competitive golfers seem to be at Shawnee. That I consider myself extremely fortunate to have won that club championship when I did, because my experience level was low at that time, and I was just fortunate that everything stacked up in my favor at that particular time in life. The people that hung around these country clubs and stuff when I was a young caddy, that was more of a family environment. That was a home away from home, and nobody got in trouble, no fights, no problems. Everybody just went there to have fun, and they had fun. The attitude in general was very good. There were no crabby people around. Well, maybe a few isolated cases, but just a wonderful life. They had a nice swimming pool there. They had well, the golf course being most of the activity there, but for those that went, some people went swimming. Some people were junior members that never even went to the golf course. I mean, they never played, and they might get a putter and go to the putt clock and stuff. But the swimming pool and other social events with their families and such, that's the only thing they done. That was a social gathering place.
As soon as you got off work, that's where you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right after work to play 9 holes, and that's why I'd scurry out there after school and try to get some of those during the week. I even had, I think, Bob Ritchie and my mother write notes from time to time saying it was Caddy Day, or no, it wasn't Caddy, it was Ladies' Day, and they had some kind of a tournament and they needed caddies. So I actually got out of the 8th grade, and maybe the 7th, but the 8th grade I know for sure, and got out of school early, a couple days to go out and caddy. Now, today that would probably, needless to say, never happen. But back there in the old days, it certainly did. A couple of us got, I think Dwight Baker got notes from school to go out and caddy, and maybe Dennis Schoonover also done that. And but yes, we got out of school early to go out and caddy. So that was part of our life. Give me good spending money for popcorn and movies and some clothing items from time to time. Very, very wonderful.